This is absolutely the best time for me to be alive as a developer. I love how AI is helping us code. I've been playing with this recently a little bit. So today and over the next few days and weeks, I'm going to be testing AI and working with AI and developing different kind of projects to actually see how capable it is, what you can do with it. Is it good or not good? Let's see what happens. And today the project I want to do is to count subscribers for my different YouTube channels. I have a few YouTube channels, and what I want to do, I want to write a script that would connect with a Google API or YouTube API. And I want to count all of those subscribers from different channels and calculate the total amount of subscribers. I think this should be really easy, but I really don't know. So I have a simple prompt here. I have a few YouTube channels and I want to create a script that would calculate total amount of subscribers from all these YouTube channels. And I forgot to say, I think, but I have Claude 3.7 Sonnet in the extended mode, which is probably the best model for coding these days. And let's see what we can do. So hopefully Claude will give us some kind of plan, or maybe it will give us the code already. Yeah, I think that's what it's doing. Okay, we have already code. Okay, I can help you to create a script to calculate the total number of subscribers across all your YouTube channels. Here's a Python script that uses the YouTube Data API. To use this script, you will need to install the required packages, okay? Set up API access, go to Google Developer Console, create new project, enable YouTube Data API version 3, create OAuth credential, choose desktop app, download the credentials, JSON file, and save it in client secret JSON in the same directory as script. When you run the script, you will open a browser window asking you to authorize the application. Once authorized, it will retrieve all channels you own. Display each channel with its subscriber count. This method uses OAuth authentication, which gives you access to all your channels without having to manually list them. Would you like me to explain any part of the script in more detail? Okay, I'm not sure if that's what I want. I actually want to list specific channels to calculate the subscriber count. So let me ask Claude about that. And I would also prefer to have some kind of API key, so I don't have to authorize the script with OAuth authentication. Just use API key. So let me ask you, Claude, about those two things. So what I'm saying is I want to list specific channels to calculate subscribers, and can I use API key instead of OAuth authentication? Okay, we have a new script, which is great. Okay, we have channel IDs here, I can already see, and we have API keys here, and we have new instructions. Yes, you can definitely use API key instead of OAuth, which is great for retrieving public information like subscribers count, and you can specify exactly which channels to include. Here is an updated script, and we have a script here. The updated script uses an API key instead of OAuth authentication, allows you to specify exactly which channels to include via their channel IDs, processes channels in batches to minimize API calls, displays statistics for each channel, and the total subscriber count, which is great. To use the script, install the required package, get API keys. Here are the instructions. Go to Google Developer Console, create a project, replace the example channel IDs with your specific channels. To find channel ID, go to channels page, view the page source, right click, view page source, search for channel ID or external ID. Channel IDs typically starts with UC and they're about 24 characters long. Here's first of my YouTube channels. So let me just try to find a channel ID. Yes, I think that's what I'm looking for. So let's copy that. I'm going to replace it here. Actually, I cannot do it, so I have to copy that. So I'm going to copy contents and I'm going to move it to Visual Studio Code. Going to create a new file, paste the script, save it. I will call it YouTube sub, save it. In the console, I'm going to install Google API Python client as suggested by Claude. So pip install Google API Python client doesn't work for me, but I think pip 3 for Python 3 should work. Okay, and that seems to be installing correctly. Okay, we have this installed. That's the first thing done. Now let's paste our YouTube channel IDs. This is my first channel ID. Oh, actually, before we do that, because I think these are examples of channels of PewDiePie, MrBeast, and T-Series. So let's leave those for now and let's just grab API key. So we have to create a project, enable YouTube data API version 3. We have a project here, enable APIs and services. Let's search for YouTube data API 3, API enabled, so that's done. Then under credentials, we need to create API keys. I have some API key here, but I think it's expired, so I don't need it anyway, so I'll delete it. Can I actually delete it? Yeah, I don't need it. Okay, I'm adding new credentials. Okay, API key. Yeah, that's what I want. This is my key. I'm going to copy it. This is unrestricted, but we can try to restrict it. But because this is just a demo and for the purpose of creating this video, then I'm gonna leave it open, which is unrestricted. But you can look into if you want to do a similar script. You can add restrictions by clicking this edit API key. So I'm going to copy the key. Okay, so that means the API is unrestricted. Okay, that sign here. And I'm going to copy this API key here. Actually, not here, but in my Visual Studio Code. And that should be it. That should work at least for those channels listed here. So I'm going to run the script. I think it's Python 3. Claude doesn't actually tell me how to run it. Let me ask it. Install Python, pip. Yeah, all of that. Okay, and Python. Let me try with Python. No. And like I said, it's probably Python 3. Yes. Okay, and total number of subscribers for those 3 channels, MrBeast, PewDiePie, and T-Series, is 774 million subscribers. Okay, now let's try my channels. Okay. So here is my ID for the other channel. I'm replacing them here. So I have, for now, I have more channels, but for now, I'm just going to use these 2. So the total number of subscribers here is, this one is like 2,790 subscribers. And this one is 401, which total should be like 300, which total should be like 3,200. So let's see. Yeah, so we have 3,191, which is correct. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so this is how we wrote first script with AI. It was pretty quick, I have to say. Just few things to do, and Claude perfectly generated code for that script I wanted. Next thing I would like to do with this script is to create some kind of widget or a desktop application, something like that, where I could actually very quickly run it instead of going to my editor and see how many subscribers I have for different channels. But that's probably for the next video. If you have any other suggestions or questions or comments, about this particular project or in general with software development with AI, let me know in the comments. I'm PJ and see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.